everyone. Welcome to Remote Transmission here on IPMNation.com. Matt Connerton sitting here with Dan Randlett at Styling Souls in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing wonderful tonight.
So this is exciting. This is our second time ever doing the show live. Second week in a row. Last week you weren't here. I know you were sick, but last week that just spiked. VU meter just, I don't know what's going on here.
It's that exciting. VU meter is spiking.
Wow. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Alright, I guess we're okay. I think. Alright, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that just kind of shot up. Oh, we're okay, now it's back. Alright. I don't know what happened there. I apologize to the listeners. I don't know if you could hear that on your end, but something keeps going wacky here. Alright, something's not right.
Something with Ustream?
Yeah, I'm going to get on the other computer. Hang on, everybody.
It's what, spiking out of control?
Yeah, it's peaking. It just peaks, and then it stops, and then it starts again.
Huh, yeah, I see it. It's peaking out, so. Now the VU meter is still really spiked. Is anything coming up? VU meter is still really spiked. Is anything coming up? VU meter is still really spiked. Is anything coming up? VU meter is still really spiked. Wow.
That was weird.
Was that just because it was picking up on the mic?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
All right, so I guess we're okay. We do have the live chat going on the site, so if anyone wants to let us know how it sounds, go ahead, because it's looking a little funky on our end.
Now, with the live chat, are you allowing people to actually ask questions of the artist and everything?
Absolutely, if they'd like to, yeah. Feel free, if you're on the live channel, feel free to send us an instant message. You can do that through AIM, through Facebook, through Twitter. You have multiple options with the new live chat feature on the social stream. And hopefully Atomic Blue will be calling in a moment. And yeah, I'm not sure why the VU meter is peaked like that, but hopefully everything's okay. So
Could be an issue on the site's end, too. It could be
that, yeah, it looks like everything's recording okay, because we are recording the show. So anyway, so welcome again to Remote Transmission here on IPMNation.com. And we are doing the show every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, we have listeners all over the world. So anybody can talk to us from anywhere. And
it's going to be Atomic Blue right there.
Hello, Atomic Blue. Oh, wow. Hello, Atomic Blue.
Hi, how we doing?
Good, how are you, man?
All right. How's the world treating you?
Pretty good, I think. We're our VU meter here is peaking, but I think we're okay.
All right.
I don't know if you're listening to the show online, but we're also recording it, so if for any reason the audio isn't quite right, tonight's show will also be available for download.
Okay, that's cool.
But we think it's okay. And I got my co-host Stan here.
How you doing? Good to hear from you.
How you doing?
We're doing wonderful.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Cool. So yeah, we got a couple of tracks that you sent us, and I understand you're going to be premiering a brand new track tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, the show must go on is a brand new track.
Uh-huh.
It's the title track off the new album that's dropping in 2 weeks, and it's brand new. Nobody's heard it yet. I want to give it to you guys first.
Very cool. We appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts. I'm right south of Boston.
Okay. And how long have you been in the game? How long have you been doing this?
Well, really, it's been about 2 years for myself. I've been in it. DRC is my label. We've been going strong for about 2 years now. It's a subsidiary of Linoleum Records, which has been out of Brockton, Mass. since '94. Been putting out, underground hip-hop, punk, stuff like that. So I'm a little new to the label, but, been going in hard for a few years now.
So So Linoleum Records. Now, how much of a roster do they have?
Well, back in, there's been many a rotation of bands that have been through over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're going strong with a few hip hop acts. We really centralized into the acts we have on DRC, which is myself, Better Off Dead with Shenrock, Acid Drop, Jester X just came over to the label. We got some kids in Utah. I want to give a shout out to Hollow's Gloom. They've been working pretty close with us now.
Cool. So there's some guys from Utah in there. So it's not just local artists.
No, I mean, Shenrock's in LA. That's where Better Off Dead's been getting its start going. And, we're really reaching out all over the place. We've got a very tight little family, and that's really why a lot of us are coming from the same area,
Mm-hmm. Do you guys do a lot of shows together, label-based shows where it's a lot of different performers from that same label, Linoleum Records?
Yeah, we like to get more right now. I'll tell you, myself along with Acid Drop and Jester X, we're solo artists on the label, but we've been performing together as Jindis MCs.
Yeah.
We're going to be cutting a collaborative group CD within the next few months. Right now, everybody's finishing up their solo projects.
Sure.
But everybody can check out atomicblue.com, aciddrop.com, reverbnation.com/JesterX.
And
what's that?
Speaking of CDs, what do you have out for releases? Have you formally released a CD yet?
I have. Welcome to the Show is available at atomicblue.com. Mm-hmm. It's my first effort that came out on DRC. We gave a lot of copies out. You can go get the collector's edition out there at atomicblue.com for $7.77. You can come to the show. We have tour pressings of several CDs that we got for $5 a piece for all that come out to the shows. And the show must go on. I'm dropping in 2 weeks.
Cool. Now, where will that be available? Will that be? Are you going to be in stores with that, or is it going to be more at the shows and online? What's your marketing plan as far as that, or what's the label doing for you as far as that goes?
Well, what's going to happen is in 2 weeks, as opposed to the pre-order and a lot of things that people are doing nowadays, what we're going to do is we're going to make it available at shows and on my website, and when I drop it, we'll announce the national date. The date it'll be on iTunes and out there. But with distribution, it takes a little while, and as opposed to starting the pre-order and letting the hype die out, it's ironically called The Show Must Go On. So it's, taking so long to come out over so many different evolutions that, I'd rather drop it and make it available to the fans that are hungry for it.
Sure.
Than wait for that national date.
Now, with Linoleum Records, how did you get hooked up with them? Did you find them? Did they find you? Or how did that go?
Well, we found each other, ironically, through Charlie, who is another, he's a very visual artist. He's a DJ and a producer for DRC Linoleum. And, through him, I met Shenrock, who, along with Driftsky, started Linoleum back in the day, and Shen really took this DRC subsidiary to a new level, and we're really just coming strong with what we have on the DRC roster right now, which is those hip-hop SLD and DRC Drug City Entertainment. If anybody is interested in booking or finding out any information, they can at drugrotcity@yahoo.com. If you go to drugrotch.com, you can find our information there. We have bios on some artists and all our links, as well as, links in all our stores available for all the artists out there. And we actually just posted an interview we did with Money B of Digital Underground up at the Drug Rats website, which was really good hit for me because Digital Underground is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, what are your other influences with what you do?
Well, that's a good question. Along with digital, I like a lot of the funk. I like a lot of, which makes me like a lot of the earlier hip hop, which is based on all the, funk drums and a lot of James Brown and Parliament drum breaks and
Sure.
more than the newer type of production. You know what I mean? Like really early Kid Rock, like before anybody knew him, back in Polly Fuse Method, early Morning Stone Pimp, early Cottonmouth, Cooler Than Smack has always been a big influence of mine, which is one of the flagships of Linoleum. So it's really a nice place for me to find a home at, being that I've been a fan.
Now, what do you think of what's your opinion of like the Boston hip-hop and funk scene? Do you think that's something that's going to be, we're seeing more of, or you think it's at a stalemate right now?
I think we're going to be seeing more of it, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are really hungry for it right now. You know, I've encountered a lot of bands that are really working hard for what they want, and a lot of people are coming out and throwing shows more than they have in the past, you know, and primarily a lot of people are going out to live bands before they go to hip-hop shows, but the thing is keeping it interesting, you know what I mean, and bringing new flavor to it, mixing up bands all the time.
Sure.
And I think it's something that's really coming back. I think a lot of people, I don't want to say anything else has become stale, but maybe people have been really used to other scenes in the area long enough that they're hungry for that next step. They're hungry for that something new. And with so many people that are coming out right now that really just have the talent and have that hunger to bring it, I think it's a good mix, and I hope a lot of things take off.
You mentioned a lot of people that are coming out now. What do you do to stand out and kind of separate yourself from the crowd so that you get noticed, or so that, you know, a label like Linoleum Records takes an interest in you? How do you do that?
That's a good question. A lot, like, you know, and a lot of it is I really got to give as much props as I can to Acid Drop and Jester X, my label mates, and the guys I perform with, because we bring a very, you know, it's hard to throw the word unique out there because everybody's trying to stand out.
Sure.
But our personalities certainly shine through. A lot of rappers maybe still on the edge where you need to be a little hard or be a little tougher than the next guy. That's why I like to describe myself as an MC as opposed to a rapper. I think bringing the hip-hop flow and like I said, my digital influence comes in just like having fun and bringing the party rock, and instead of just coming, you know, like with the same old, you know, and just, we always try to keep it loud. We're always, you know, running around the stage, bringing the energy of a loud band to a hip-hop scene, you know. That's where a lot of it lacks. You know, I mean, I can only stand and watch somebody relay lyrics to me and bob their head for so long, you know what I mean? You need to give them something else to look at. So I think we really bring the energy and we really bring our personalities, you know. We're a few characters out there.
Absolutely. Well, listen, why don't we play a track? And this first track that we're going to play, Shadows of the Past, is that correct?
Yep, Shadows of the Past, and that's produced by Acid Drop, and he's on the track with me. That's from the new album, The Show Must Go On. It's kind of a deep track, but it's one that's everybody's favorites. You know, we usually slow down the show for a minute to play this track because a lot of people can relate to it. It's just really about, you know, losing the ones you've loved, or, you know, we've all lost somebody. Nice,
okay. Well, if you don't mind hanging on the phone with us for a minute, we'll play that track, and then we'll come back and chat a little more.
All right, I will be here.
All right, sounds good. This is Shadows of the Past from Atomic Blue.
I guess nothing's left but to say goodbye to my old way of life, but I still get high. The days that passed, I swore they'd always last, but through the looking glass, I see the shard just smashed. Yo, Blue, just pass me the weed. I'm feeling fucking lost, and I had a bad week, and I just can't sleep. The next step is death. Yo, in fact, fuck the weed, pass that crystal meth. Better yet, pass the needle, cause I'm sick of these people. Even all my best friends seem a little bit evil. I'm unstable at best, psychotic at worst. Trying up, dying at thirst, self-immersed in this curse. CTS therapeutic, I'm rooted through my passions, and people do their face just to see their reaction. Smashing the last in depression quickly. My lesson's just a question, and I'm just as sickly as a plane crash survivor with the guilt that follows. Morals have no meaning as I'm reaching for tomorrow. Watch the neighborhood crumble, just like the cookie, falling from the top like that damn song Nookie. I passed your house with the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there, but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead, but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past, but the past is real. I passed your house, but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there, but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead, but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I
how my jaw dropped. I stood there shocked when I heard the talk that I had lost my pops. The crack in my mom's voice when she broke the news. That's another reason in my name I include the blue. The drive home for me was like a dream. Light beams from the yellow streak in the street. Or is it the reflection from the moisture in my eyes? If you say grown men don't cry, you've never felt torture inside like mine. When the divine is hard to find, staring to a stained glass cross, searching for a sign. Thank all my friends that came for me, and when shit was thick like honey, they were there for me. Flying home to MA was a long journey, like the plane was a coffin and it's suffocating me. To a steady sleep, stepped off as a zombie, walking dead with no appetite, like I don't want thee. Need a release when the deceased are haunting on your mind. Sleep in peace, at least you had plenty of time to spend a minute on the bridges left behind and cross through the long walk of this life. Bubbling and boiling, the raging heat of hate I feel towards this world cause they took him away. Yo, acid drop, you done over there, rolling that blunt, feeling sentimental as fuck and I need to smoke up.
I passed your house but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past but the past is real. I passed your house but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past but the past is real. I guess nothing's left but to say goodbye to my old way of life, but I still get high. The days that passed, I swore they'd always last, but through the looking glass, I see the shot just smashed. Yo, Blue, just pass me the weed. I'm feeling fucking lost, and I had a bad week, and I just can't sleep. The next step is death. Yo, in fact, fuck the weed, pass that crystal meth. Better yet, pass the needle, cause I'm sick of these people. Even all my best friends seem a little bit evil. I'm unstable at best, psychotic at worst. Trying up, dying at thirst, self-immersed in this curse. CTS therapeutic, I'm rooted through my passions, and people do their face just to see their reactions. Smashing the last in oppression quickly. My lesson's just a question, and I'm just as sickly as a plane crash survivor with the guilt that follows. Morals have no meaning as I'm reaching for tomorrow. Watch the neighborhood crumble, just like the cookie, falling from the top like that damn song Nookie. I passed your house but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past but the past is real. I passed your house but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past but the past is real.
Never forget how my jaw dropped. I stood there shocked when I heard the talk that I had lost my pops. The crack in my mom's voice when she broke the news. That's another reason in my name I include the blue. The drive home for me was like a dream. Light beams from the yellow streak in the street. Or is it the reflection from the moisture in my eyes? If you say grown men don't cry, you've never felt torture inside like mine. When the divine is hard to find, staring to a stained glass cross, searching for a sign. Thank all my friends that came for me, and when shit was thick like honey, they were there for me. Flying home to MA was a long journey, like the plane was a coffin and it's suffocating me. To a steady sleep, stepped off as a zombie, walking dead with no appetite, like I don't want thee. Need a release when the deceased are haunting on your mind. Sleep in peace, at least you had plenty of time to spend a minute on the bridges left behind and cross through the long walk of this life. Bubbling and boiling, the raging heat of hate I feel towards this world cause they took him away. Yo, acid drop, come.
I bash your house, but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there, but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead, but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past, but the past is real. I bash your house, but the lights aren't on. I'm praying you were there, but you're dead and gone. Just a shadow of the past, everlasting thought. You may be dead, but you ain't forgot. As I stare at this grave, all I think in my head is if I had a single wish, I'd be there instead. Everybody come along if you know how we feel. The past is the past, but the past is real.
Rock your socks off, you know what I mean? But we always take our art seriously, but never ourselves, and that's why we like to have fun.
So you're saying like a lot of
People are
the,
ready to get out and have fun again. It's been, nothing's easy for anybody lately.
apart from the track we were trying to play just now, I mean, does all of your tracks, do they all have a certain message, or do you have a lot of those party fun tracks?
I'd say it's a good mixture. I'd say a lot more of them are personal or don't have a message. I'm kind of breaking more into my having fun days. The new album, you'll see a lot more of that. I'd say, a little under half of it is probably stuff you could just put on and rock at a party, where some tracks, you're going to make you sit back and think a little.
Sure. Now, do you have anything...
It's an important mixture to have, you know what I mean? Like, you can't come too serious, and you can't have nothing to say. So that's where building all your songs into an album comes into play, I think.
Now, how many tracks are we going to expect on this new album that's dropping?
There's a few that might make the cut at the last minute, and that's why I'm saying 2 weeks, but it'll be 16 to 20 brand new tracks.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Atomic Blue, how, Dan and I were kind of talking about this before the show, because I honestly, I couldn't remember, how is it that you and I connected originally? It must have been was it through United Front Company?
Yes, it was. I was out doing shows with them where I was out doing shows.
Did we meet at Millie's?
No, I believe we met down at their place in Revere.
Oh, at the Jump? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how we know each other. And, I just got back from doing shows with those guys. They actually just did a show that we did Saturday, so...
Now,
those guys are people that are always on their ground, too. You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of people are hungry and talented, and a lot of people are making noise down here, so...
Absolutely.
They do their thing,
Absolutely. Before we start to wrap up in a couple more minutes, I do want to remind everybody, too, that we do have a live chat feature on the site. So if you're listening to us right now online, if anyone has a question that they want to type in for Atomic Blue, by all means, please do, or any comments or anything. Did you go out on that tour with them that UFC went out on?
Yes, I did.
Oh, tell us about that.
We did our shows for a few weeks and stuff, and then my label, we had some stuff booked up in Utah, so I had to go do a show up there and stuff. But that was fun. We went up to see the FPP, the kids up in Utah, Hollows Gloom. They do a great show for us up there that I, along with BOD, went up and rocked, and Jester X. And that was really fun. Me and Jester got a 78-minute set. And,
yeah.
Those guys packed the house, and we got a lot of love down there already.
Nice. I heard something about a tour bus breaking down.
Yeah, the RV was not in the best shape. But, the show must go on, we all suffer these adversities,
Exactly.
But it's all about how you're going to overcome the next obstacle, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Was that your first tour, really, going across the country?
Yeah, that was my first time driving across the country that way. I've been back and forth up the east, but not doing shows.
Sure.
So that was my first time out to do some shows, and it was good. I got some under my belt. I did some, the Utah show and the LA show with my crew, and, leading up to that, did shows with those guys, and it's a lot of fun. They're all really good great people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Team Happiness was out there with us, and those guys, I love those guys, and they have great stage.
Yeah, Slicko and EFC, I know them very well. Yeah. That must have been pretty wild.
Yeah, and actually, funny story for you was while the RV was being fixed, Slicko and I went out one day and shot a video for "It's Working," a song off one of his albums, which was fun. But I went out to the day and found different areas around where we were getting work done, and shot a video, edited it in the back of the bus. Now that's tour style. Shooting and editing videos in the back of the bus.
Wow.
Nice. Hey, or at least we assume anyway, a lot of really young people. Well, how old are you, Atomic Blue? You're pretty young, right?
I'm 28 years old.
28? Okay. You know, we figure that we have a pretty young audience here. For the kid who's 17, 18 years old, starting out in the hip hop game, do you have any advice, any suggestions? Because anyone who's worked in the business for any period of time sees all kinds of people making all kinds of mistakes. Do you have any advice for the young aspiring hip hop artist who's just starting out?
The best advice I can give, the best advice I can give comes from a quote actually from Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
When he was talking about playing guitar, and he realized he wanted to sound like this person, and he wanted to sound like that person, and he's like, the reason I want to sound like these people is because they have their own voice, they have their own style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the fact he wanted to emulate them really just stemmed from the fact that they stood out, and really that's really what it is, There's really a million ways you can look up how to scratch, how to make beats, how to rhyme, you know what I mean, and really perfect your stuff anyway. But the biggest piece of advice I can say is stand out, you know what I mean? The only thing you have to bring to the table that no other than that, just learn to make beats, because everybody's, not knocking anybody that has to, but a lot of people are, jocking industry beats or sound clicking, and that's all well and fine for making mixtapes, but what's really going to make you stand out is learn to make your own beats, learn to make your music. A lot of the people that I roll with, we all come from, the background where we play instruments anyway.
Right.
A lot of, my demo stuff was me playing drums, bass, and guitar until, like Shem started saying, hey, let me make some beats for you, and that's how I hooked up with him and everybody on the label that, been giving me beats and been learning to, really work on my own and not rely on instruments as much as getting the digital data, which is great too. Being with so many people that play instruments, like you'll notice Shadows of the Past, that's Acid Drop playing guitar over and over, looping it, and it's just, there's so much to music that you can always find a fresh angle, and that's how you're going to find your voice.
Very well said. Dan, did you have anything you wanted to?
No, I think that was,
Well, listen, Atomic Blue, thanks very much for being here with us tonight.
Hey, anytime, guys.
Sorry about the technical issues. Before we start to wrap up, can you just refresh everyone's memory on where they can find you online?
Where you can find me online is atomicblue.com. You can find, I have a store up there with all my merch and CDs, and the new CD will be out very shortly. Drugrats.com. That has pretty much a lot of the information on our label. You can find a lot of stuff. We have interesting stuff up there, like even just, our favorite things, or movie reviews, or random poetry, and like I said, the Money Bee interview. So drugrats.com, we really use it hub, as well as linoleumrecords.com. Not to give you a laundry list, but you can find me and my crew.
Yeah, very cool. It's good to have options as far as where to find you, so that's good. Well, listen, thanks for being here, man. The plan was, of course, to premiere this new track at the end of the show, but we are having a little audio problem. So what I'm going to do is, because we record every day, by midnight tonight, for anyone who's interested, by midnight I'll have this show with the songs in it uploaded and available for download from IPMNation.com right at the beginning of the media player when you first hit the site. So people can get it that way. They can download the entire interview with the songs dropped in, and we'll going forward, we'll just pretend that that everything was according to plan. How's
well, like
that?
you said, the show must go on.
And also, real quickly, too, if you
Sure.
go to drugrats.com, you can download free sample of mine, just 3 songs from the first album, 3 songs from the new album, as well as 4 or 5 other free albums from artists up there. We're going to be dropping 20,000 Leagues Under the Streets within the month, which is going to be a compilation of all the new DRC artists.
Yeah.
And also, I will make this podcast, which I downloaded from you, available up on that for the people that didn't catch it on this site.
Very cool, very cool. And yeah, we'd encourage everyone, please download the interview and take a listen. So we noticed, I'm looking at the stats online right now, and it looks like some people did log on late. Or they logged on and didn't hear anything and wondered what the hell was going on.
Yeah, that's all right. If they logged in late, we can just pretend it didn't happen.
Exactly. Well, Atomic Blue, good luck with everything, and thanks very much for being here with us, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you for all the support and what you guys are doing with the station, and I'll email you guys some drops within the next few days, too. Plug the show.
Absolutely. Very cool. Thanks, man.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys for everything, and you everybody out there have a great night.
All right, man.
You too.
Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, so that was Atomic Blue we just talked to. Very cool guy. And good interview, audio problems aside. So like I said, what we're going to do for anyone who's listening to this live, by midnight, I will have the entire interview up along with the 2 songs where they are supposed to go in the program. And we'll...
Again, that's a world premiere of The Show Must Go On. That's going to be on the site by midnight.
Right, yep. Shadows of the Past was the first track, and The Show Must Go On will finish out the show, the big premiere. And I don't know who our guest is going to be next week, because we just started doing this live, but we are doing this every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope you'll be with us next week. We'll certainly have a guest by then, and I'll have these little glitches figured out by then too. So it's always something. Right, Dan?
It is. It always is.
Dan, do you have any words of wisdom before we
Well, no, the words of wisdom is kind of, it's promoting his album, The Show Must Go On, like he said.
Yes.
No matter what glitches, no matter what's going on, it's The Show Must Go On. You can't just quit. You can't just give up.
Yes.
And I wish him the best of luck, because he is very talented.
Absolutely.
And when you do get to hear the songs, you'll hear that.
Yes. Exactly. And all right, that's it for now. This has been Remote Transmission on the IPMNation.com live channel. We will see you all next week.
Oh, shit! Back from the dead, second LP. Here we go. I'm Atomic Blue, your host. Welcome to the show. Not to boast, I'm coast to coast on a national level. So most folks toast, I made a deal with the devil. But all that hating and false talk must stop. 20-hour work days pave the way to the top. And you gotta walk a lot till you feel like you drop. If you don't flop, then you prove you got the chops. The show must go on, so get up and fight. Do what you like and grab the mic tight. Even if you feel beat, don't admit defeat. Rise to the top and rock the socks off your feet. So when my boom bass shakes like an earthquake, know it's safe and escape from the doorway. Make your way to the stage, make your hands wave. Make my day when you sing the hook with that look on your face. The show must go on and on and on. I said the show must go on and on and on. I won't be held down by life's adversities. I keep on going strong and repping DRC. The show must go on and on and on. I said the show must go on and on and on. I won't be held down by life's adversities. I keep on going strong and repping DRC. This berserker might hurt you if you know what I mean. With vocal swings, I'm a verbal Wolverine. As animalistic as Weapon X, my Freddy Krueger maneuver is leaving slits in your chest. Comedic with the punchlines, I remain frightful. Another classic character whose work comes at nightfall. Nocturnal I be, Nosferatu MC. Rock on till the break of dawn, bleed the industry. Moving weight like a dancing hippopotamus. And it's only 16 grams per compact disc. That's how I do it, want a ton of units sold. Won't stop till I go gold or silver and gold. As I move past so fast, I'm a blue flash. It's like atomic sonic, got robotic at last. About to win the game with 7 gems in my pocket. The show must go on, I guarantee I'm gonna rock it. The show must go on, and on and on. I said the show must go on, and on and on. I won't be held down by life's adversities. I keep on going strong and repping DRC. The show must go on, and on. I said the show must go on, and on and on. I won't be held down by life's adversities. I keep on going strong and repping DRC. If you need an introduction, I understand, but Linoleum Records is in demand. That's why they throw up their hands when we hit the stage. Now they're raised like the hairs on your neck. You're amazed. You're getting the chill. Head filled with that skill. Eardrum busting from percussion and the snare fills. DRC, now the shit's getting drastic. Killing the beat, tagging and bagging in plastic. Getting the clear body bag. Price on the tag. You'd even steal from your mom's purse. You want it so bad, it's a curse in the worst way. Feeding like a drum K. Itching every day to listen to what we play. If you're thirsty, go ahead and take another sip. It's me and Gigi's MCs take you on another trip. Atomic Blue coming through with my crew. You lose control and sell your soul to do what we do. So boo-hoo, jealous you. Go home and cry to your mom. Wishing us on because the shit is the bomb. Sound the alarm, we're armed. And this is the calm before the storm begins to norm. Yeah, when our show is on. So be a clever fella and put down your umbrella. To hide from our vibes you need a fallout shelter. We'll all out melt you with the fire that we speak. If you're drowning then we'll help you when our lyrics get deep. Don't be a sheep, come on and follow our flock. Drug rats, gaffy, get space like Spark. The show must go on, and on. I said the show must go on, and on. I won't be held down by life's adversities. I keep on going strong and repping DRC. The show must go on, and on. I said the show must go on, and on. I won't be held down by life's adversities. I keep on going strong and repping DRC.